What's up, y'all? I'm back with another one, my second word sound for the day. You see the title, right? The worldwide oppression of the melanated family is trending worldwide, and it ends now, part three. Y'all might think it's a game, right? You think it's a game? Well, it's not a game. I'm about to drop it on y'all hard again. But before I begin, let me thank you for your indulgence in advance. Also, in advance, I would like to apologize to the people that are likely to become offended by the things that I'm about to say, which are guaranteed to not put them in a positive light. That being said, I would like to make it clear that I am not apologizing for what is said because I'm speaking the truth, and I'm a righteous man and that believes in truth and justice. I am apologizing because I have to say them in the first place to do the job that I am sent to do. I'm not an offensive person by nature, so this comes as a difficult thing for me to do, believe it or not. But just the same, I believe in karma. And the things that I'm getting ready to say will be the karmic result of all the bad things that the ancestors of present day Caucasians have passed on to them. My only aim is to present the truth as I see it according to my understanding, which may or may not be correct, my understanding and my research. Take note that with that being stated, while I'm admitting to according to my interpretation and my research and its analysis, that while I do admit that some of it could be incorrect, the possibility of me being entirely incorrect about everything is non-existent. And one final thing, this is not an attempt to be mean-spirited or spread enmity throughout the globe unnecessarily. The severity of the necessity that brings forth my presence warrants in this way, warrants that the approach that I'm coming with. And one more thing, I promise. I'm not trying to impress you with big words, really. That's just how I talk. Ask anyone who knows me. And if you can't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, then get a dictionary, because it's time you step up your communication skills anyway. Caucasians, where do they come from? Wikipedia says that they all derive from Germanic tribes in Scandinavia. They all come from the Caucasus Mountains, and they're not indigenous to anywhere else in the world. Could we agree on that first? I mean, I'm talking about places like the Ukraine, and Turkey, and Russia, and that whole, Belarus and Georgia and all of those different European countries, those Germanic states. That's where Caucasians come from. So moving on. Rome fell because of the warlike Germanic tribes invaded them and eventually succeeded in conquering them. This, what I'm saying here, could lead to discussions about the Tartars or the Tartarians to the west of Rome and the barbarians to the east, but that's for another time. Otherwise, these warlike tribes, you might recognize the name of some of them to the west of Rome, like the Marcomanni or the Alemanni, the Franks, the Angles, and the Saxons, and to the east were other tribes like the Celts and the Jutes and many others. After the fall of Rome, these territories were invaded, conquered, settled upon, and divided among these warring tribes. Now, so far, if you were paying attention, Caucasians are not native to any of these areas that I just mentioned that they took over. So take a wild guess who was. That's right, the black aristocracy of Europe. But not to go too far, the Visigoths and the Vandals. Heard of vandalism? Well, that's where it comes from. They occupied Spain. The Rus became the Russians. The Franks became the French. The Angles and the Saxons became the British, and the Celts became the Irish. Any questions? There were already castles all over Europe with wealthy landholders that were kings and queens and everything in between, literally. In fact, the royal legacy of Europe of antiquity belongs to black people who were forced to abandon their estates and flee to places like the Americas and New Zealand, where our nightmare began at their merciless hands. And in case you're confused, I'm talking about that same black aristocracy that came over because they wanted to continue to live like kings and queens. So they did to us what the white people did to them. Anyway, that's another story. You heard of the black conquistadors, right? I'll pick up on that another time. But this is an abbreviated version of events that I'm explaining right now, and I can't wait to fill y'all in with so much more context. And I will on my YouTube channel, so make sure that you follow me there. For now, let me continue. This brings me to why I'm even bringing all of this up in the first place. Why? Because although Caucasians are proven to be native to nowhere except the Caucasus Mountains, the spear of their influence covers our entire existence in a gigantically uneven fashion worldwide. Not trying to be a hater or anything, but they fucking up the entire planet. And from an indigenous perspective, they ain't even from here. So if this is what they want to do around here, they gotta fucking go. Because now we know what time it is. Now I'll explain more in a second. You don't even know who the fuck I am, do you? If you did, you'd probably understand my current methodology. I won't hide it from you any longer. I am Chief Fear None Everlasting Arawak, and by default, in the absence of any current leadership to get in anyone's face and say the things that I say that need to be said, that everybody's thinking, addressing the elephants in the room, I represent the remnants of the former Arawak Empire, the people of North and South America, the Caribbean islands, and everywhere else in between. And I'm super cool with the people of the African diaspora and anyone else in the diaspora, like Brazil and Australia and all of them other places. I'm representing the black people, you know, and of course the Latinos and, you know, all of them other people in between. And am I speaking clearly enough for you? Because some shit has gone down a really long time ago, causing an imbalance in this world where white people came up on top and black people have suffered long enough, and we want you up off of all of us. And if nobody else won't say it, I will. And it's time that we get you up off all of us. And if you won't get off us, we will get you off. And we'll start with you guys, how you guys even ended up with the land that is ours by reverse engineering history. That's right, telling a different side of the story than that history that y'all been pushing, which is all a lie. And this is what I've been doing all day, and believe me, I'm not done. I got a lot more to do by the end of the day, and a lot more. I'm gonna fill y'all in with context. Next, we're gonna talk about how you were able to establish and maintain control. And next, we're going to talk about how you were lucky enough to even exist among us, but you fucked it up and you've taken it too far. And next, we're going to talk about how you on our land and how we don't want you here anymore unless you could behave. You know? Then we're going to talk about your exit strategy. Whoever got to go, got to go. Back to the Caucasus Mountains, because the Americas is ours. This is our land, and unless other nations decide to take you, you got to go back home. That sounds extreme, right? Well, we'll see what my other brothers and sisters in humanity have to say about it, as we will be presenting our cases to the world shortly. And you can only push a motherfucker, but so far. Melanated people worldwide have had enough, and we will get nowhere through diplomacy with those who are proven to be warlike and non-diplomatic, and we don't want your treaties anymore. You've broken any one of them that you've made with us. Many black people are fed up with you, and we are anxious to get it in with you if that's what you want. Now, if that's what you think you want, we'll give it to you, or you can just get up the fuck up out of our way. And this has been another Chief Fear None Everlasting presentation. As always, I'll leave you with the following words: right on to the real and death to the fakers. Justify your existence or die like the motherfucking punk ass bitch you are, and may we all get exactly what the fuck we deserve. 1.